say we get into something that was actually really, really freaking good.
And 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yes,
the complete opposite of what we were just talking about. In this one, HELLBOUND.
Yay!
Your suggestion. Your suggestion. So you're the winner as far as I think from now on. It's just gonna be me suggesting awful stuff and you suggesting good stuff.
And I will punch you and start screaming and crying. I'm gonna go into your room and start crying.
I just torture you with like really, really bad shows that I make you watch. Like I only started watching the Santa Inc. because people hated it, and I was like, oh, how bad could it be? And it ended up being really bad. And then I was like, you're like HELLBOUND is really, really good. I was like, oh, how good could it be? It's really good. Really good.
Even though like it talks. Okay, I'm gonna wrap Santa Inc. into it. Santa Inc. talks about a religious holiday. This show talks about religious beliefs, and it's like really good.
Yeah,
like it doesn't push it down your throat, but it's like it kind of goes like, think about it.
I think it's because we, like in America, like we're so wrapped up in the crappy world of politics. Not us here, like on the show, but the world of politics has just dominated our culture for so long that we're like, oh, thank God, it's just religion they're talking about. How bad could it be?
Yeah, but it does have some some political backgrounds to it too.
There was an interesting point where a guy in episode, and I don't want to talk about the politics of it. Like I try to avoid that stuff as much as I can. But there's an like in one of the first episodes where the reporter tries to get a quote from the detective. You're gonna have to help me with the name because I can't pronounce the name.
I don't know how to pronounce the name either.
The lead detective with the daughter.
With the daughter.
Yeah.
1 second.
It's Kyung Hun.
Let me search up.
That guy is amazing. The guy, he played the tragic father who's his daughter. And then, oh, by the way, guys, before we even get into it, we're going to talk spoilers for this. So if you don't want to know spoilers.
But it's been out for a long time, so I suggest you hurry up. You can binge it in one day.
It's on Netflix. It's very, very, very good. I do suggest if you don't like dub, you can watch it with subtitles only. I have a hard time with that. I watched it with the dub. I've heard I heard conflicting reports because I heard some people say that the dub might be not that great.
It's on.
But I thought it was fine. It got the point across to me, and I struggle with it because of my hearing loss. Like I'm looking at the way they're talking and like looking for notes, but I think it works fine. The voices are distinct. The characters have their own personality. You know, it's the way they talk. The lawyer has a very distinct voice. So
she does.
Yep.
But like. The show is so good. I love it.
The cinematography is top notch. There's this very claustrophobic feel to a lot of the close-ups, and there's this bathed of like dark blue tinted light that there's a show on Netflix called Travelers from a couple years ago.
I watched that.
Okay. It reminded me of Travelers. I didn't like. That's funny that I didn't know you'd seen that.
Well,
that show was
you
really
forgot.
good.
We have the same similar taste in movies and TV shows.
That is true. But it felt like that, right? Not just the tone, which is kind of bleak. I mean, this one's way more so than Travelers was.
Yeah.
That was at least that kind of had that wink and the nod of like old school sci-fi. But this is just bleak and it's horror-esque, but not horror.
It's dark fantasy, actually.
Okay, so it's considered like the only thing that would be considered like super like close to horror would be the sci-fi images of what happens. So do you want to tell people in what happens in the show, basically how the show works?
Okay, so this show is actually based on Webtoon. I need to get you into Webtoon. But basically it's based on a Webtoon comic. So this is a major spoiler. So basically people get attacked by these hell-like creatures. I call them shadow people because legit they're like smoke and dust. They come out of hell and they beat you, and then they take your soul to hell. And basically every person, you don't know who's going to be next, but major spoiler because Brett and
We've already given spoilers.
I know, but basically it's random. You don't know who's going to be next. And like if you are next, it comes out of nowhere and it's like a glowing, I call it an angel because it's almost angel-like.
It's listed as angel on the credits.
Okay, that's good. I wasn't paying attention to that.
And it gives you the time when you're going to die.
It gives you a prophecy. Yeah. So one of the, I want to call, is he a prophet? The guy.
The cult leader. Yep, the guy who runs, it's an organization called The New Truth. A church called The New Truth. Basically,
he got a prophecy that he was going to die within 20 years in a certain time. And he started the whole thing. But basically, it happens like that. An angel comes to you and prophesies when you're going to die. It doesn't tell you where, but it's just going to tell you what day and then what time.
And he forms the religion around these random acts.
Yes.
There's no actual, as far as I was able to understand, there's no sign that there's anything religious to the angel that delivers the prophecy to you. But he built a religion around the prophecy that he received, and used it to further the cause of his organization.
Yep, because like they were trying to make connections why certain people died. So he had a whole PowerPoint of these dead bodies. He said this person died because of lust, this person died because of greed, but actually in reality it's all random because later in the episode a baby was supposed to die within 3 days, but it didn't die because the parents protected it, and and it got adopted, and the person who adopted them said this baby was supposed to die. But it's weird because it didn't die. Now it's living. So it's going to be the next Messiah.
So religious themes run through the whole thing. The lawyer, Minhun?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce that? Were you able to pronounce her name's, Minhai Jin. Minhai Jin?
Yeah. Well, Chris here, our other designated
Yeah.
Asian. How do you pronounce it?
I have no idea.
Yep.
Okay. See, we're too Americanized for this.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I had a hard time with a lot of it. Like the names were the hardest part for me, and the voices were a little bit like, some of them were really, really good. Like the lawyer had a really, really distinct voice. I loved the voice actress for her, and the same for the cult leader, had a very soft spoken tone, right? But menacing in a way, like in an interesting way. And then of course the guy who runs the Arrowheads.
He's very loud.
He was very loud, and he comes back at the end. But I was actually really surprised. The leader of this group, basically the Arrowheads are a group of religious fanatics who follow the doctrine of the new truth and become like street thugs that enforce religious doctrine on people and call everyone sinners as they beat them and hurt them. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, it's weird, and like I wrote notes in when I first watched it because I really wanted Brett to watch it, and I said it's very similar to like how our political climate is, but I won't get into like our politics in the US.
It's not important. That's what's cool about that.
Yeah.
What I liked about it is it's divorced from American culture. The only thing that I noticed that had any kind of tie back to American culture was the part where the guy calls the reporter fake news. That was the only. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah,
but everything else, I mean, they even have to introduce the concept of original sin. They're trying to find a way to prove
the 7 deadly sins. Can you name them on the top of your head?
No, I cannot.
Oh, I can.
Okay, go ahead.
So there, I won't say it in order because I don't remember it exactly in order, but it's lust, greed, also wrath, sloth, gluttony. That's 5 already, right? 5, and then pride, and then envy. Yep.
And the church, the way they talk about it in the show is that the Church of the New Truth doesn't have the concept of original sin. So that's how they differ from Christianity, and that becomes a big part of it, because when the baby gets the prophecy made about them, they have to find a way to keep the prophecy from being released to the public, because what's happening in the show is that the church is broadcasting these people as they're taken by these demons. You called them shadow creatures, right?
Yeah, because they look like shadow creatures.
And they turn it into a spectacle where people come to literally watch as these people pay for their sins, and they have to find a way to cover up the baby getting the prophecy, because how could a baby have committed a sin?
Exactly. Like, I felt so bad for the mom because like she was
fantastic.
Yeah.
The acting from the mom, the lawyer, and the dad from the male police officer, the dad whose wife had died and whose daughter helped the cult leader. Like, I can't say enough about how fantastic because it's hard for me. I have a hard time watching anything dubbed. So for me to be that engrossed in what I was watching was fantastic.
Well, do you think? Okay. Well, like, let me continue about the mom. The mom, like, she makes you feel, because like legit, she was trying to record her baby for her husband, because she knows like you're not supposed to bring cameras or your phone into the ICU unit for babies.
Yeah.
But she did. She wanted to show her husband because he was working a late night because of this stupid new.
He was the producer, right? That was producer Bay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
He was like trying to like do a new whole edit for like the religious
for
cult.
the church.
Yeah. And like she was like, okay, let me do this for my husband. And she sees like this angel come to her baby, and like legit she was hiding in the corner crying and searching up on their religious cult website saying, is it possible for a newborn to be a sinner? And there was like no answers because it never happened. And it makes you feel, because like she's trying to protect her baby. And also I just researched why why we have like this religious thing. So in Korea, as in like 2010, there was like 46% of the population was non-religious, but then being Christian was 29%. So it's kind of weird. Like only 29% of the population is Christian. So like something that's heavily like Christian like being a big TV show is really interesting to me.
Yep. I don't know how. Do you watch a lot? Is that technically considered a K-drama?
It is a K-drama.
Is religion a common theme in that?
It depends, because since it's based off of a webtoon, are you familiar with webtoon or no?
I don't know what it is.
So webtoon, it's actually.
I read that it was based off that, but I don't know.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's like better than DC or Marvel, but you can get episodes. That's what they call their chapters for like any comic book series that they have on their websites, but you can get them for free. And if you do want to read ahead, you just pay 3 tokens, which is like $5 US.
Okay.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But I don't pay it. But you can also download their app if you want to read it offline, if you don't want to use like your data. But basically they have anything, and most of their stuff is like heavily religious. Like some of them is like Greek folklore, others is like European folklore, and then they do have Christianity here and there, but it's like really good because like any artist, so if you're an artist, like an upcoming artist, or you want your work to be out there, Webtoon actually supports their artists. And comic book, anybody who's like a comic book writer, they support you and they actually encourage you to like post your stuff on there. And they do give you commission. I don't know how much is the commission for it, but it's like basically anybody can read it for free, and they also let you like tag your other things.
This character Kim Yoon as Kim Yoon Ju. That she was easily my favorite character in the whole thing. And I thought when we were talking about it I was talking about it with Tim, and I thought she in episode 3, I thought the new leader of the cult like took her out. And then I found out that she was still alive.
Nope,
and that was the best
she was
part.
alive. Like I found out later, and I was like, "No way, she's alive."
Yeah, she was the best part of it. I posted the scene. Did you see the scene where she falls? Like she pushes the guy out the window on the car, and then she goes out the window too, and the camera follows them down.
No, I didn't see that scene. I think I fell asleep for that, but like.
She kind of becomes an action star by the end. Like she's she's vulnerable and she's human, but she kind of becomes like she's clearly like had fight training, and she's clearly taking on that role of a protector, and it was really, really good.
Do you think this is like the next step for South Korea to actually be bigger than any American I want to say like movie and any like movie or media platform to be bigger than them?
I don't know about bigger, but I think we're going to see these things become, as American audiences are starved for new content with less identity politics woven in. I think we'll see. I mean, we saw it with Squid Games. We saw it with this now. I think we'll start seeing more of it here in America, especially as Netflix and other streaming platforms really give rise to these types of dramas. So I'm excited.
Oh, I just searched up Webtoon. So if you're not, it is a South Korean based company, but you can produce your stuff in English, French, Chinese, Indonesian. I forgot there's a big Indonesian like fan base there.
Cool.
Spanish, Thai, and German. So
very cool.
Yeah, but you can do other languages too. But they do like encourage you to like basically explore their website. You can do it completely free.
Cool.
And you don't have to sign up. You can sign up if you don't want to like wait too long, but you can do it for free. Like my favorite comic book right now, it's called The Cursed Princess Club.
Awesome. And the moral of the story is go watch HELLBOUND. If you have not seen it. I'm one of those people, I can listen to spoiler reviews and then go watch something.
Yeah,
so, same. We have to be like, we gave the spoiler warning beforehand, but if that wasn't enough to convince you, it really is a fantastic, it's only 6 episodes long. You could binge it in a day or two.
Yeah, you can do it in a day.
Depending on how busy you are. So go watch it. It's really, really good.